Hi dear students and welcome to Sri Jendra Rank Zone classes. I'm your faculty Amit Ajmani, and in today's class we'll be taking up the next chapter, that is comprehension passages. Now we all know we have been doing the comprehension passages for quite some time now. For the last few years you have this thing in your English syllabus, that a passage is given to us and there are a few questions which have been asked based on that particular passage, and we have to give the correct answers. Now in this particular chapter, what exactly we are going to learn? This chapter is going to enable the learners, that is you, to read and understand the given text of varied lengths from a wide range of subjects, maybe arts or politics or economics or history or geography, anything. Then we have to apply the skills and strategies of a successful reader. We have to apply our skills in order to read the context successfully, in order to understand whatever the passage or that particular paragraph is conveying to us. We have to read the given information critically so as to analyze it. We have to skim, that is, reading the text quickly to get a general idea or the meaning or the theme of that textual passage given to us. We need to scan, that is, we need to look out at all the parts of that passage carefully in order to know all the details. It is also going to help us in developing our reading speed and to build our vocabulary. We need to learn how to infer the meaning of the unfamiliar words from the context, and very importantly, we need to differentiate between the main ideas and the specific details given in the passage. We should be able to understand the difference between facts and opinions. We need to identify author's tone, and we need to relate the purpose of the author, and we need to develop ability to infer, predict, analyze and evaluate the content which is given in the textual passage. This is what this chapter is going to teach us. So let us start up with how to actually attempt a comprehension passage. What should be our strategy while attempting any such question? What we should do is, first of all, we need to read the passage quickly to understand the main idea. And it is always advisable to underline the main points, the identifying keywords, and statements while you are reading any particular passage. Always scan through all the questions, and it is beneficial that we need to underline the details or the information asked for in the questions, so that there should be no scope to misinterpret. We need to be very much specific in our reading. For example, if the question being asked is, what did Rohan seek while climbing the mountain? So we have to underline. By underlining, the clarity will be better. Why? Because now after underlining and after reading this question, we are able to relate that the answer of this question should be based on the object or emotion or state of mind sought by Ram. And it is very crystal clear that in the question it is not the difficulties faced by Rohan that are being asked while ascending the mountain. So we need to be very specific with what the question is asking, so that we can write very specific, precise and to the point answers. Correct? Next, what we should do is, we should reread the passage, marking the specific information related to the questions. so that we can mark the specific information which is actually our answer. Now, this is quite important point. Please try to relate it. There is often ambiguity in the answers provided in the MCQ style. There will be so many times when you as a student will feel that there are two answers which seem to be appropriate in the context. But obviously, there won't be two answers. There is only one answer. And there will always be fine differences between these two seemingly similar answers. One answer may be incomplete as compared to the other, or the inference may be varied. Therefore, this rereading plays an important role so that we are able to choose our answer very carefully. Sometimes you will also feel that among the given choices, none of these choices answer the question. Now, what we need to do in such a case? Again, it is reiterated that reread and choose the perfect answer, the best given alternative out of those questions or choices. And finally, review. Before you move on to the next question, review that whatever answer you have marked is correct, is perfect as per you, as per the text given. So this is the strategy that we need to follow. Now we'll discuss about Bloom's taxonomy. Now what exactly is Bloom's taxonomy? This Bloom's taxonomy gives the students an idea of higher and lower order thinking skills. This is a pyramid which basically will be given to us, and you will be tested on all the areas which are depicted in this pyramid. Let us see. First of all, what we need to do is remember, recall the facts and basic concepts. You may define or duplicate or list or memorize or repeat or store these facts and basic concepts. Then understand the ideas or the concepts. You can classify, describe, discuss, explain, identify, locate, recognize, report, select or translate the ideas or concepts. Then apply. We have to use the information which we have gone through in new situations. For that, execute, implement, solve, use, demonstrate, interpret, operate, schedule, or sketch. Now, analyze the situation and draw connections among the ideas provided. And for that, we need to first of all differentiate. We need to organize. We need to relate the information, compare them, contrast or distinguish between them, examine them, experiment with them, question them, and test them. After that, evaluate and justify a stand or decision. Appraise, argue, defend, judge, select, support, value, critique, or weigh. And based on all these processes that you have done, now create and produce new or your original work. Design something new, assemble something in your own perspective, construct a new thing, conjecture, develop or formulate, and author or investigate something new. So this is basically Bloom's taxonomy, which asks us to actually do all these various steps. Correct? Now, what are the various types of questions that may be asked from us? Let us try to relate that. There will be a reading comprehension passage whose purpose is to test your reading skills and your ability to recall, to understand, to apply, analyze, evaluate, and create the content based on the passage. There will be a variety of questions which are framed to cover the above listed areas which were included in the Bloom's taxonomy, right? So we have a few examples of the type of questions which will be based on the passage. Let's see what exactly are the all types. First of all, in the questions, he may be asking specific details from the content or the body of the passage. Here, under Bloom's taxonomy, we have to apply the concept of remember and understand. Secondly, we may be asked to determine the meaning of the words or phrases or idioms which are used in the passage, in the context. For this, we need to understand and apply. We may also be asked to draw any kind of inferences or conclusions. That means we need to apply the concept of analyzing and evaluating. We may be asked to identify the tone of the speaker or the author of the passage or of the passage. We need to relate what exactly is being mentioned. So, evaluate. We may be asked the main idea or the theme of the passage, for which we need to understand, apply, and evaluate. And we may be asked to give a suitable title for the passage. Again, to understand, evaluate, and now to create. So these are the various questions that may be asked from us related to a particular passage. Now, first of all, when we'll be going through a passage, the very first important thing we need to relate is how to improve our reading speed. Reading any text is often a challenge for most of the people, especially when it is not your mother tongue. So, in order to improve your reading speed, several techniques you need to follow, they may be applied. How exactly we can improve our reading speed? First, read early in the day or whenever you are the most receptive. Always make sure that you are reading in a quiet environment so that there are no external distractions for you. Try not to read aloud because it hampers the speed. Sometimes it is beneficial to cover the text that you have already gone through so that your eyes should be prevented from straying to the previously read content. Right? Next step that you can follow is set a speed faster than you can understand. Now this is something which many of the students ask me, ki, sir, if we are not able to understand, what is the use of just reading that passage? This is what exactly is specified. You may not comprehend the material at first, but don't lose focus. Stay focused on the text, keep your eyes moving, and set yourself a time limit. Gradually, your speed will increase, and you will find that you will begin to comprehend the text also. Right? It is just by practice, and you will see that it actually happens. Now, if you want to get a gist or a general idea of a text or a newspaper magazine article, or you need to prepare for an examination, then skimming through the subject matter helps a lot, right? Even though when you are reading the text in detail, then it is only when you will get a complete understanding of the material. But just in order to get the gist, right, just in order to get a general idea, this skimming helps a lot. Next step that you can do to improve your reading is read the main and the subheading. Read the tabular material and the table of contents, because this is how you will get an idea of the information contained in the text. And when you already know the idea of the content, obviously your reading speed will increase because you already have the basic idea what the passage or the content is talking about, right? Now, one another important step that helps you in your reading is reading the beginning and end of any text or article or paragraph. When you read the first and the last paragraph, the lines give an idea of the content. And if you are once again familiar with the idea of the content, your reading definitely will become faster. Another way of improving your reading speed is underline or highlight the important words in the text, because it will help you to pick out the important aspects and mark the crucial areas of the subject. And definitely it is in long run going to build up a good vocabulary. Clear? Now it is a very good strategy to practice often and time your reading speed, because every time you are timing yourself your speeding read, you are going to improve your speed each time. And for that you can have these following methods as a trial. First thing is, get an idea of number of words in a page. How we can do it? By counting the words in a line and thereafter multiplying it with the number of lines in the passage. Then put a time limit for yourself. Say half an hour, 15 minutes, 40 minutes. Don't take it 2, 3 or 5 minutes because it is too less a time. And check how much text you can cover in that time. Then use simple mathematics of multiplying the number of pages or words by the time taken, and then you can assess your reading speed per minute, that how many words you are reading per minute. Now if you have set yourself a target of the time and the speed which you want to achieve in improving your reading speed, then adopt the strategies which are mentioned above. It is definitely going to help, and it is a fact that sometimes it may even double up your speed, because till now you have been reading as per your will, you have been reading as per your mood, but at the moment you are competing, then you tend to put in more effort, and that is where it helps you, because it is the self motivation that is working, and of course the regular practice, that is the best way by which you can achieve your goal in order to improve your reading speed. Now just to give you an example of what exactly are the various speeds at which people read, an individual aged 12 or above is supposed to read 200 to 250 words per minute. The college students, their speed is almost 300 WPM, that is words per minute. Now, if you are reading at 450 words per minute, you will be skimming the text for main points. And at this speed, you should be able to understand almost all the complete text and whatever is being given there in the passage. If you increase your speed to 600 to 700 words per minute, now this reading speed is used for looking for some specific information in a text, and most people can learn to read at this speed with about 75% of their normal comprehension. When you reach this magical number of 1000 words per minute and above, then you are reaching the level of competitive speed readers. This is not very easy. It requires extreme techniques in which you learn how to skip over most of the irrelevant text. And when you are reading at such a high speed, most of the people can't remember much at this speed, right? Now, how to improve? There are certain tips while you are reading the passages. First thing is, always take a break after about half an hour. Why? Because when you are reading consistently and continuously for half an hour, it will help you taking a break to remain focused, and it will reduce your eye strain. Next, if you want to practice improving your speed, then practicing in a place that is quiet with no distractions, which is well lit which is well ventilated, such a place is recommended because it gives you that perfect atmosphere in which you can focus more. While reading, don't change the text you are reading too often. Why? Because if you are going to do like that, it is going to make comprehension and maintaining the reading speed difficult same time. Next tip is you need to make sure that your reading is not hampering your understanding of the text in any ways. Because if you are not able to get the gist of the passage, there is no point reading. And this is what we all know, that a fresh mind and ability to concentrate. These is a these are the prerequisite for reading important texts. Now it depends on person to person. There is no as such hard and fast criteria or any particular rule for it, because some people function well in the morning while others they think better will be in the afternoon, or for some evening time is best. There'll be few of you who will prefer reading or understanding or learning at night. So this depends, right? But the requisite is fresh mind and ability to concentrate, right? So these are a few tips for practicing reading. Now, how to enrich and enhance your vocabulary. In English, we have discussed talking about vocabulary in one or two of our previous chapters, and we know that learning new vocabulary is never easy. So, how you can do this difficult process? Let us give some tips for that also. Number one, reading extensively. The source may be anything, it may be a magazine or a newspaper or novel or any other text. If you are reading extensively, it will expose you to a wide range of vocabulary. So, this is the first prerequisite of vocabulary enhancement. You will learn only when you will read something new and something more. And while you are reading, use a dictionary or thesaurus to look up meaning of new words, right? Because that is what vocabulary is. You will come to know which is the most appropriate in this particular context where they are being used, because there are so many words which have their so many different meanings regarding the context in which they are used, right? Quite importantly, if you are planning to build your vocabulary and for that you are reading extensively, you should read the material that interests you, because if you are doing it, then in that case it will strengthen word associations and meanings. Just an example, if you are reading some kind of engaging stories, then it will help you and it will help the other learners build emotional and sensory context around new vocabulary, right? So interest is very important, because this is how you will be able to continue reading. Otherwise, after some time, it will be a monotony and you will leave it. Next, make sure that you learn the groups of words that come together. You need to observe while reading. There will be certain group of words that always come together, that is always easier to memorize. For example, flock of sheep. You can recall better. Just flock is difficult. So flock of sheep, you can relate it. Fleet of sheep, right? Flock of sheep and fleet of sheep. The fleet of ship. These are the two words that you can remember quite easily because they come together, right? Now, when we are reading any passage from anywhere, we know that it is impossible. We cannot memorize all the words that we come across. It's not possible for anyone, right? So, one way to enhance vocabulary is you need to put the words you wish to memorize where you will see them frequently. You need to select the words which you want them in your vocabulary. Then you need to put them down. You need to write them down somewhere so that you can come across them frequently. You can write it on a wall or a computer screensaver you can make, or on the desktop. any notebook, anything that you will view frequently, because coming going, when you see them again and again, they will just get down and deeper in your brain, and hence they will become a part of your vocabulary, right? Next, quite interesting and important tip to enhance your vocabulary is just try to make associations with the word which you will always recall. Try to make associations. An example is given over here. For example, the word gigantic. It's huge, right? This is huge. But try to link it with something. For example, there is a temple in your vicinity and there is a god statue there which is very big. Now, if you relate this word gigantic with that statue, now you can even visualize it. So it will help you remember the meaning for a very long time. You will never forget it, right? Now, many experts give different advices to build up a vocabulary, and they say that learn a dedicated memorization strategy that uses some form of mnemonics. Now, what exactly is mnemonics? This is the M is silent. This is the system such as pattern of letters or the ideas or associations which assist in remembering something. So you can build up the mnemonics. You can take the initial letter. For example, if you remember, there was a reactivity series in your science class. There we have learnt it with PSC Mesental, right? Or we can learn it any other way, whatever suits you, whatever you feel comfortable with. But if you actually try to relate it with the help of mnemonics, you will be able to recall them longer. And lastly, the most important thing required for doing anything is dedication and perseverance. Rome was not built in a day, we all know it, right? Such a beautiful thing always takes time. So you cannot expect wonders happening in 1 or 2 days practice. Obviously, no. So dedication and perseverance will be required in order to build up a good vocabulary. You need to be committed and determined, and it's a very slow, ongoing, repeated process which needs to be done consistently. Only then it will be rewarding us, it will be fruitful after long practice. Okay. So this is how we can build up our vocabulary. Now there are a few sample passages which are given to us in the book. Let us try to relate what exactly these passages are. Let us try to read them up, and let us try to attempt a few questions based on the passage depending upon what they are being asked. So let us take an example of the first passage. Read the passage carefully and answer the questions that follow. Now, whenever you are attempting any particular comprehension passage, the best strategy is always before reading the passage, go for the question. Because if you have the questions in your mind, then while reading the passage, then you already know what you need to look out for. So there are two questions being asked. First question is, give a suitable title to the passage. So now we need to relate what exactly this passage talks about. Secondly, express the main idea of the passage in 2 or 3 sentences. So first of all, we need to relate what the passage is talking about and what are the details being talked about. This is what we are required to do in this particular passage. Now, keeping these two questions in mind, let us try to read the passage now. The passage says, what is spirituality? It is nothing but living life sensibly, striking a balance with your material life, neglecting neither. This is spirituality. So, the very first thing that comes to our mind is this passage must be about spirituality. What it is, this has been defined, spirituality defined, and let us see what exactly the rest of the passage is talking about. We have around us the immediate reality, that is the world. Living sensibly and perfectly in this world is important and is our immediate goal. So, first thing is definition of spirituality is being described, and what is the goal of spirituality, that is living sensibly and perfectly in this world. Fine. Next, we have to consider both material and spiritual parts. We have to burn karmas by meditation and gain freedom from all types of bondages. We have to gain freedom at several levels before achieving the final freedom, moksha, the ultimate goal. This is what is final freedom all about. We have to emote and think without any past influences. This is possible by meditation. Meditation is a must even to live our material life sensibly. So, in all these lines, what exactly are being described? What are the goals of spirituality, or what we can achieve through spirituality, and meditation being a part of it. Next paragraph. But mere meditation won't make us spiritual. We have to allow the influence of meditation into our daily life. So from now, let us stop complaining, grumbling, and feeling disgusted with the systems we have. Now, this is how we can achieve spirituality. What are the various things we need to do? Let us begin channeling light out to these systems and the people instead. Of course, we complain about others. Sometimes by mistake, we also grumble about and condemn ourselves. So these are the negativities being talked about. We know when we channel light, we can bring changes and completely prevent destruction or minimize it at least. Let us change ourselves, then the systems change automatically. If you change, people around you also change. So channel light daily for at least 7 minutes. Heal yourself and the world. The source of the passage is speaking tree, right? So what exactly are the various things that we got to know about this particular passage? It is talking about spirituality. It is talking about how spirituality can be achieved. It is talking about the various ways which we should adopt in order to heal ourselves and the world. Now let us come to the questions once again. Number one is give a suitable title to the passage. Now the best and simple and the crisp short title is spirituality. Now we can have various titles. A few examples given to us. For example, we can have the title to be modern day spirituality, or spirituality redefined, or balance between spiritual and the material world, or any other suitable title that you feel appropriate related to spirituality, right? The next question is express the main idea of the passage in 2 or 3 sentences. Now, what exactly is this passage talking about? This passage is talking about what spirituality is, right? So spirituality is living life sensibly. And what is the goal of spirituality? Striking a balance with the material world. And in this, meditation is an important aspect of this balancing technique. So this is basically what the main idea of the passage is, right? So this is just one example. Let us see one more passage in order to relate what type of questions we may encounter. This is the second passage now. And again, before going through the passage, I always want my students to go through the questions first. Once you have read the questions, even though you don't know what exactly these questions are meant for, but still you will have a basic idea in your mind while reading the passage. Let us see. First question is Sushma Ghosh says, I was pleasantly surprised. She was surprised. Why? What was the reason? So now when we'll be reading the passage, wherever we will encounter Sushma Ghosh, wherever we will encounter these words, I was pleasantly surprised, we will have a strike in our head and will be able to relate, right? So just keep this in mind. What exactly was the first question all about? Sushma Ghosh says, I was pleasantly surprised. Why she was surprised? Second question is, some manufacturers have even teamed up with the e-retailers too. So here in this passage, even though we haven't read it, but we relate that there is something being talked about manufacturers who are manufacturing goods and the e-retailers, that is the online retailers, and the team that they have built up, they have joined together. So some manufacturers have even teamed up with e-retailers too. Why they have teamed up? The reason must have been given in the passage that we need to find out. Third question is, one of the top three earners of Flipkart is. Flipkart is an online shopping company, we know that. So this passage is dealing somewhere somehow with online shopping and with Flipkart. So one of the top three earners of Flipkart is. We must be mentioned in the passage what exactly is the top three of Flipkart which are earning good. Next question is, the two factors that are promoting sales of e-retailers are. So why the sale of the e-retailing company is being increased? What are the two factors which are increasing the sales of e-retailers? This is the fourth question, right? The fifth question is, brick and mortar stores are affected by e-retailers. So brick and mortar stores, that means the normal physical shop owners, they are affected by e-retailers. How? So these are now the questions that have been asked. Keeping these questions in mind, let us now try to relate what the passage is all about. So now we'll start reading the passage. 3 years ago, technophobic Sushmi Ghosh refused to exchange her feature phone for a smartphone. But last month, the 45-year-old high school teacher ordered a front-loading washing machine through an e-retailer's app on her iPhone. I was pleasantly surprised, she said. Who is saying? Sushmi Ghosh. This was our first question, if you remember. And now, why was she surprised? She said it was not only delivered in a day but also installed immediately. I didn't have to walk to a shop in this heat. Further, she says that I saved money too because I bought it during a sale. Now, we can get the answer of our very first question. Why was Sushmi Ghosh said I was pleasantly surprised? Right? We'll do it later on. Let us continue with the passage. Online sales of large appliances have boomed in the past 2 years. Now, their sales have been increased. The industry has boomed up. Why? As e-retailers have addressed buyers' delivery and installation concerns. While they also offered discounts earlier, delivery took days and installation was another waiting game with further uncertainty about warranty. So now these two concerns have been solved. That is why for the past 2 years, this particular industry has boomed. During its recently concluding sale, Amazon claimed in the first day it sold around half, 20,000 units of the average daily TV sales in India, and there has been a huge shift in the number of brands that want to do business with us, said Manish Tiwari, the VP, Category Management, Amazon India. Now there was no question related to Amazon, so this passage is just for reading purpose. Nothing has been asked in the question that we have already read. This is the advantage of reading questions. Next, some manufacturers have even teamed up with e-retailers. This was our second question, if you remember, that some manufacturers have even teamed up with e-retailers. Why? To offer TVs, refrigerators, and washing machines with specific features. Now, this helps bring down prices, said Sandeep Karwa, head of large appliances at Flipkart. From being a negligible part of its business, the large appliance category has become one of the top three earners for Flipkarts. Having something being striked in the head, this is our third question. What is the top three earners for Flipkart? It is the large appliances. This is our answer. Right? Now, it acquired Jeeves, a repair services and maintenance company for providing after-sales service. At present, Flipkart offers one-day delivery on 72% of large appliances through 10 dedicated warehouses. We are working on a pilot that will enable installation of 70% of our large appliances at the time of delivery, said Carva. The exchange offers and financing options provided by retailers have also pushed sales. So, what has pushed sales for these companies? The exchange offers and financing options. This is our first question. Fourth, sorry. During our last sale, 35% of shoppers opted for no interest EMI, said Carva. Amazon has also created a home service arm to synchronize delivery and installation of products. Amazon's Tiwari said, we created a group of technicians who will get the installation done according to the convenience of the customer. In smaller towns, this is a big help since many brands don't have a robust presence. No question related to this particular topic till now. Next paragraph. Amazon has 9 warehouses from which it can reach 80% of the country. Most manufacturers, however, are tight-lipped about online sales as e-retailers discounts and freebies eat into the margins of the brick and mortar dealers. So what is the problem with the brick and mortar dealers? They are affected because the discounts and freebies eat into their margins. This was our fifth question. Now, to be very honest, students, we have been asked 5 questions and all the 5 we have already got. So, it is quite unbelievable when you will hear it from my side. But even if you don't go through the rest of the passage, it doesn't make any difference. Why? Because we know we will find no answer in this particular paragraph. We do not require it, but still we will read it for the sake of reading, but our purpose has been solved here only. So now if we will be reading the last paragraph, it should be only skimming part that is required. Fine. So this is what you need to relate and learn. So now you are saving these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 lines. This is going to save you minimum 1.5 to 2 minutes in your exams. This is how you improve your level. Let's skim it around. While a spokesperson for LG turned down an interview request for this story, Samsung India did not reply to an email. Irrelevant. Ajay Seth, Director of Sales and Services, Panasonic India, said it is still early days for online. Customers want to have a look and feel of the product before buying. Most of our online sales consist of small appliances. Companies such as BPL, Woo and TCL, which follow an online first model, are optimistic, though of favorable response from buyers. Devita Sara, founder of Woo Technologies, which sells 40% of all TVs sold on Flipkart, said, when I started selling Woo televisions, we did a business of 35 crores in 13-14. After going online, we ended up 2016-17 at 500 crores. So, nothing being asked in this paragraph, as we already knew. Now let us see whatever answers we have selected, how to mark the answers. Among all the choices given to us, let us try to relate one by one. Sushma Ghosh says, I was pleasantly surprised. He was surprised by what? By the promptness of the service for the washing machine? Maybe. Because she managed to save money while buying the washing machine? Not exactly. Buy the warranty offer for the washing machine? Not at all. Buy the quick delivery and instant installation of the washing machine? Exactly. Now you see, we have got two close options and two options which are easily strikeable. You can directly cancel them up. Now the first option is by the promptness of the service for the washing machine. That is altogether the correct answer. Next is by the quick delivery and instant installation of the washing machine. Now as per the context, first thing is these two words actually are mentioned in the passage. Secondly, by the promptness of services, these services are further specified. That is why out of A and D, our actual answer which we are going to mark in exam should be D. Why not A? I hope you all must have understood. Fine. Let's have the second question. Some manufacturers have even teamed up with e-retailers. Why? To give special discounts? No, not mentioned. Have special sale offers on large appliances like TVs with specific feature? Yes. Get discounts from e-retailer? Not at all. To give discounts to e-retailers? Not at all. So it is quite simple. Out of the four, only one is the right option. No confusion regarding it. So we will mark the option B to be the correct option. Let's see the third question. One of the top three earners of Flipkart is household goods. We know it's not the right answer. Clothes brand? No. Large appliances? Yes. Mobile phones? No. So once again, the choice is quite clear that, let me come to the question again, that C is the right answer to this question. Let's see the next question. The two factors that are prompting sales of e-retailers are exchange offers and easy financing options available? Yes. Quick delivery and good products? Maybe, but good products not mentioned, quick delivery is mentioned, we'll cross it off. Ease of service and no disturbance of any kind? No. Many options to choose from and the ability to view products from home? This is practically, we will relate, may be correct, but as per the passage, there is nothing specified to relate it this particular thing. So the correct option which we are going to select and mark is A. Okay. Let us see the next question. Brick and mortar stores are affected by retailers. How? Promoting their sale? No. In no major way? No. By starting a price war? Maybe practically but not mentioned in the passage. By eating into their profits? Yes, this is the exact line given in the passage. We don't have to even think twice. Got it? So this is how we attempt any particular passage. Ready for one more example? Let us see. Now this is the third passage. Once again, before going through the passage, let's read the questions. First question. We lose privacy on social networking sites because. Now this passage is dealing with social networking sites. This is a bit evident. Why we are losing privacy? This is our first question. Second question, we are not reading the options because we don't know what exactly is given. So there is no point reading the options. We will just read the questions right now. Cyberbullying is common because we need to relate what is the reason for cyberbullying. Right? Now the third question is what is the negative influence of social networking in the context of the passage? Not practically, we need to relate it in the context of the passage. What exactly is the negative influence of social networking? This is the third question. The fourth question says, which of the following is not a byproduct of social networking? Once again in the passage. Which of the following is not a byproduct of social networking? Next question is, which of the following words is most similar to intimidating as used in the passage, right? So we have to find now what exactly is intimidating. Intimidating is to threaten someone, right? Intimidate someone is to threaten someone, to make someone fearful. So let us see what exactly the passage is all about. Now let us relate the passage. The internet has changed our world. It has been defined as a worldwide broadcasting capability, a mechanism for information dissemination, and a medium for collaboration and interaction between individuals and their computers without regard for geographic location. Nothing, I think, being asked from these 5 lines. Instant communication on various social networking sites is an offshoot of the internet revolution. Through these sites, though these sites have numerous advantages in terms of connectivity and sharing information and are increasingly becoming a part of everyday life of people, they are being misused by anti-social elements, terrorist organizations, governments, various institutions, and the public at large. So this is basically, as per the passage, this is the negative influence. We already have this question. Let us read the further part. Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, blogs, WhatsApp, virtual worlds, and specific social networking sites like Facebook are an inseparable part of our lives in the modern world. One of the biggest disadvantages, loss of privacy of individuals. Remember, loss of privacy. One question was there regarding it. So now focus. Social networking sites ask for a general deal of personal information, and it is not possible for people in all parts of the world to see, and it is possible for people in all parts of the world to see that information. So this is the reason why we are losing our privacy. This is another question that was being asked. Next, there are privacy settings for these sites, but many people are either unaware of them or are careless about guarding their personal information. Besides, the information creates a digital footprint that can be erased. Many share inappropriate content and pictures on which can be misused by unscrupulous elements and cause irreparable damage to reputations. There have been innumerable examples of sexual exploitation of young boys and girls on social media. Inappropriate photographs, messages, and private content that are shared by them on the site is used to blackmail them. Numerous instances of pictures being mobbed are used to ruin reputations have been reported. So these are the negativities of internet. Sexual predators make fake profiles, befriend young people, and take advantage of them. Celebrities and ordinary citizens are trolled maliciously on Twitter if their opinions are disliked by a certain section of their followers. Explicit sexual threats are posted on their accounts. Cyberbullying. One question was asked related to cyberbullying. Cyberbullying has become a common phenomenon on social networks. Almost all teenagers admit to being a target of such bullying at least once in their lives. People are abused, reviled, and mercilessly teased. Being malicious, unkind, and cruel is fun for some people. Others use the medium to send an intimidating message. Intimidating word that was being asked, but we have to find the similar meaning. Start a nasty rumor or upload embarrassing photos. It is possible to be completely anonymous as well, so there is less chance of getting caught. Such bullying causes lasting psychological damage to the victims. Many have been known to have taken the extreme step of committing suicide. Next, another problem that has been highlighted by psychiatrists is internet addiction disorder. Many people literally live out their lives on social media Every event and happening has to be shared on Facebook. Their lives revolve around the number of likes and comments they get on their posts. Unfortunately, most of these comments are insincere and fake, thus giving the individual incorrect perception of himself or herself. Moreover, this addiction consumes a lot of time which would be otherwise productively used for the benefits of the body and mind. Contrarily, interacting on internet is also known to have caused a loss of social skills. Now, many people feel comfortable chatting with the person online than in engaging a face-to-face verbal conversation. Most importantly, you can do all kinds of things you could never do in real life, like giving hugs and kisses to everyone, which you would rarely do in real life. And you can give yourself a completely unique identity. Sometimes people start to prefer their fake online lives to their actual lives. And this is when social networking sites start to negatively affect social skills. One question has been asked related to this topic also. Another issue gaming ground is spreading of fake news on the internet. Enormous amount of information on social, political, economic, health related information is available on various sites. There are serious social ramifications of circulation of such false information. The government is making attempts to bring in laws to control this phenomena. In conclusion, the advice is that, liking everything else, use social media in modernization and with wisdom. So before we go to the actual questions asked in this particular passage, I'm sure that many of you must have been correlating themselves, because this is what exactly the practicality is. Whatever is written in the passage is absolutely true, and it relates to most of you, because today our lifestyle is such that we are actually becoming internet addicted, and we are devoting so much of time on internet. That is nothing wrong in it if that is done with wisdom and that is done productively, but most of us are not doing it. And it's rightly said by the parents or the teachers, you need, as a student, you need to understand what are the drawbacks. If not, kindly go through the passage two times, three times, four times more. You will understand better, I suppose. So this was something general and practical I was talking. Now come to the actual questions. We lose privacy on social networking sites because we put many photographs on the site, not mentioned in the passage. Sites require us to share a great deal of our personal information. Yes, we choose wrong friends, not mentioned in the question. Youngsters are generally cares, not mentioned in the question. So B is the best option that we are going to choose. Okay, let's see the next question. Cyberbullying is common because there are many bullies everywhere. No. People are mean and unkind. Not at all. It is very easy to hack into another person's profile. Practically, it is right. It is true. But in the passage, it is not mentioned. It is quick and easy to post nasty comments anonymously on social media sites. This is exactly what is given. Anonymously, you can go above and you can check out what exactly and where exactly this word was used in which context. You will find it here. So D is the correct option. Let us see the third question. What is the negative influence of social networking in the context of the passage? It takes away our identity. Not at all mentioned. We do not make many friends. Altogether wrong. We network with friends and colleagues easily and frequently. This is not a negative influence and not mentioned in the question. It can lead to loss of social skills. This is what the passage is dealing about. So D is the correct option. Next, fourth question. Which of the following is not a byproduct of social networking? Sexual predatory, it has been talked about. Damaging of social skills, it has been highlighted. Ability to make many friends. Now, this is not a part which is mentioned in the passage regarding the byproduct of social networking. Wasting a great deal of time? Yes, it is mentioned in the question that it is a byproduct of social networking. So the correct option is C, that ability to make many friends is a byproduct of social networking. It's not mentioned in the passage, right? Next is, which of the following words is most similar to intimidating as used in the passage? For those who know the actual meaning of intimidating, you know that the correct option is B, to frighten or threaten someone, right? But those who do not know the meaning of intimidating, how you are going to attempt this question? So for this, I'm giving you a tip. Just check out where this word was used in the passage, and out of these options, put each option there and then try to see whether it makes any meaning or not. First of all, let us read the options. To get intimate with someone, to frighten or threaten someone, to become personal, to be too friendly. I repeat, to get intimate with someone, that is same thing as to become personal or to become too friendly. So we cannot select these options directly because of the reason they are one and the same thing. Only to frighten or threaten someone is a negative thing. Rest all are positive things. So let us try to find where this word intimidating actually was. Right? Then we'll try to understand how to attempt such kind of questions. Let us try to find out where this word intimidating was. It was here. We marked it here. So we can just see the circle here. Now, being malicious, unkind, and cruel is fun for somebody. Others use the medium to send an intimidating message, start a nasty rumor, or upload embarrassing photos. Now, if you try to relate the whole sentence, starting a nasty rumor is a negative thing, embarrassing photos uploading is a negative thing, so intimidating message cannot be positive. So, if we are sending an intimidating message, we cannot be personal. We are not talking about being friendly or something like this. We are not talking about being close to someone because it is something a negative sense in which we are using this word. So that is why you can rightly guess that it is to frighten or to threaten, to send a message which is frightful or meant for threatening someone. So this is how you can attempt if in first place you don't know the meaning of intimidating, right? So these are a few passages. I would like you all to go through these passages once again. Try to do the way I have told you to do. Try to follow the instructions and then relate whether you have properly and thoroughly understood or not. Try practicing these three passages. We are just ending up the lecture here itself only. In the next class, I'll take up some more passages as examples which are given in the book so that we can practice more passages and we can get better knowledge and details about how to attempt such comprehension passages. Fine? So, we'll meet you in the next class. Till then, take care of yourself and have a very great time. Goodbye, everyone.